Hello there, this is Battle Born Again. In today's video, I'm going to talk about triangulation and the different forms of triangulations that the narcissists use, why they use it, how they use it, and basically the whole dynamic you have to look out for, because triangulation happens every day in a narcissist's life, or the narcissist is trying to triangulate you every day in their life, and they do this sometimes very obviously, and you will get the feeling that they are actually trying to triangulate you. And I will go into what triangulation is as well, but it's also important to remember that triangulation can be very subtle. It doesn't need to be big things. So triangulation is when the narcissist brings another party, another person into a conversation. And the reason they do this is either to make you jealous, to make you feel bad. So they will talk good about some person that really doesn't have anything to do with the situation you're in. So they will compare you with other people, just to tell you that you're bad. And again, this goes into the narcissist's passive aggressive way of being, because the narcissist could, sometimes they also do this, but they could just have pointed the finger at you and told you that you're shit, right? And this happens as well with narcissists, but they're doing exactly the same thing when they are triangulating you to compare you to people that you have no ties with, that is just people that they either make up or people that they know. And it's really of very little interest to you what these other people do, right? It doesn't really matter. But the narcissist wants you to think that way, wants you to be thinking that way. Like, I can come with an example. Let's say the narcissist that you're with tells you that she knows this other couple, and in that relationship the man does this and the man does that, or and he's so great and he's so good, and they might add something like, I wish I had a man like that. And it's just to tell you that you are a bad man and you are not doing enough, and you're not and again, it's in a way which is very immature. Triangulation is an immature mechanism of making people fight and make people jealous. If you think about it, it's the kind of conversations you would hear in a schoolyard with young girls, for instance. You might hear that the leader of the group, she will tell the others that, or one of the others that, Betty, she has such a nice coat. Why don't you have the same kind of coat or jacket, And it's, again, instead of telling this person that they have an ugly coat or ugly jacket, they're just saying that Betty has a nicer jacket than you. So it's the same kind of mentality, and that tells a lot about the narcissist's mental age. But triangulation is also happening in places which is far more devastating to people's lives. And this goes on in the sexual relationship that you might have or had with a narcissist. They might tell you that they had that you're not good in, like they've had better experiences before, They might tell you, and it's again, it goes just back to how really unfeeling this person is, the narcissist. They might tell you about their exes. Not all narcissists do this, but some do. And a major form of triangulation is cheating. And very often, many narcissists, when they cheat, they want the other person or the other supply to know that they're cheating. Normal people try to hide it. If a person that is not narcissistically inclined cheats, he or she tries to hide that relationship, usually. But the narcissist, not so much. They don't really care if the other person gets to know it, because it is a way of triangulating, again, make the other person devastated and make the other people, the two parties, the one they're cheating with and the one they have cheated on, fight for the narcissist. So, and that happens a lot, especially with covert narcissists. They use these tactics a lot to detach from one supply and move on to the next supply. They start cheating, and they might give you clues that they are cheating. They might. It's almost like a bad scene from a bad movie sometimes when I think back, and they kind of like overdo stuff, like they are trying to hide with their phone or something like that. It's like they're so obvious, and they want you to find out that they're doing something that they shouldn't do. It's like they want to get caught when they do this. And then the triangulation starts, because cheating is an extreme form of triangulation. Not too many people think about it that way, but with a narcissist, that is the biggest form of triangulation that they do. Triangulation will also happen in families, of course. Wherever the narcissist is, triangulation does happen. And in families, it might take the form of just pitting siblings against each other, telling one sibling that he is great and in front of the other, giving one sibling food, not the other sibling, or making food for one and not for the other, praising one of the children and not the other child. Again, it's just this extreme form of telling you that you're shit without saying it. It's a cowardly way of being. It's a very cowardly and an evil way of acting, because it strikes at the core, at the person they're trying to hurt. It's way better for a person to be told that they are shit and worthless and all of this, which they aren't, but the narcissist wants to communicate this to you. But it's way better to be told that than to be shown it. And that's what the narcissists do when they triangulate. They show you. And that runs far deeper into the human psyche than any word they could utter. So when people show you through their actions that you don't really matter, that's far more devastating. And in families as well, narcissists, they have no shame and no boundaries. Well, they have shame, but they're shameless creatures in the sense that they don't understand when they have done enough, when people around them are fed up. So a narcissistic mother might, for instance, start triangulating the father with one of their sons. And I've seen this happening when a narcissistic mother is tired of the dad has become bad supply in the family. They might start to praise one of their sons in the family the way they used to praise the dad, to make the dad jealous of his own son. And this is, of course, we are crossing into incest and pretty dark areas here, but this is also happening. And this might also happen with a dad that starts to praise one of his daughters in the ways that he used to praise his wife. So we might tell his wife that, such and such starts to look really good. I wish you looked that way now, And it's to inflict serious damage. And here, here the narcissist really starts to fuck up families, because they not only try to destroy one of the people, but they're also, like I said, they're pushing the boundaries, or there is no boundaries, but they're going into very dark areas when they start this behavior. So triangulation is extremely devastating to the people that is triangulated. Some of the people that is on the other end of the triangulation, meaning the ones that are praised, don't see that this is fake often. Many times they don't. Especially as children, they might take this as, the validation they need, because you don't have a lot of validation in a narcissistic family. So the children will take what they can get, and a lot of times they feel like this is good, this feels good, but it's on another person's expense all the time. So the narcissist cannot give praise to someone unless they are stepping on someone else at the same time. That's the way they work. And the subtle form of triangulation happens every day. The narcissist might come home from work and they might tell you stories about how bad a person is at work and how good they are. Again, this is a way of promoting themselves by talking bad about others. The narcissists do this all the time, in every situation. It might be in traffic, and they might just, if you're with them in the car, they might just talk bad about another driver. Again, instead of saying that I'm a good driver, I wouldn't have done that. They are not saying that. They're saying that driver is so shitty. I don't understand how he got his driver's license. Blah, 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 blah. And underneath all of that lies, I am better than that person. Can't you see that? And this is things they do all the time. And especially at workplaces, they will do this because the narcissist cannot see that someone else gets praised at work if it's not them. They cannot stand to see that. So they have to find flaws and faults with that person very quickly to rescue their false self, their ego. Because when they see this happening, they start to crumble inside. So at a workplace, if somebody gets promoted or just gets praised for doing a good job, the narcissist will feel like they have to do something to make this situation about them. Again, it's extreme narcissism we are talking about here. So they will find ways to talk bad about this person, and they might say to the boss or somebody else that is in charge of this situation that, don't you remember the time when he or she did this? Why did they get a promotion? Why did they get this? Why do you praise them? Don't you remember anything? Are you stupid? This kind of talk. Again, no feelings of they don't know really how to talk to people. Some of these people don't. They are very, what you will call, rude. And they will talk in such a way, when they do this triangulation and all of these things, they will do that in a way that seems almost like they have a point. Almost like like because they believe so hard in this false reality they're trying to project onto you, that a lot of people will be like, yeah, well, you have a point, in that kind of situation, you have a point, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have promoted her or him, because the narcissist is relentless, and they are so forceful in their way of making other people see the same as they do. So they can force a good boss or otherwise good boss and strong person to do their bidding, because the narcissist is so relentless in the ways they do things. And the triangulation, like I said, it happens every day, and that's important to remember, and it happens all the time. A way to stop it is that you stop feeding into it, and you will very shortly thereafter, you will see that you don't really have that much to talk about with the narcissist, because every situation and every conversation is a triangulation with these people. So if you stop feeding into conversations that is triangulations, meaning talking bad about other people that isn't present, is triangulation. Talking, it's also called gossip, but it is a way of triangulation. And if you stop feeding into this, you will start to see that you don't really have that much to talk about with this person, because there is no other way they can communicate. So if you stop doing that, they will find you very boring, and you will find them extremely boring, because there is no other way they can go around in life. So I just want to make this video, and I hope it helps you. It's about triangulation, and I will make more videos on this later on, but this was just to touch upon the subject as a whole. Thank you for listening in, and have a good day.